take a loss on my install. Only take a when I'm dead. I'm gang 3 times on my install. Been from the cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the install. Too late, you already there. It was written in the children's story. Their life's a so what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could jump me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the genesis. Dead presidents, drop a gem on them. On earth, these the last days. Throw your get money, quiet storm, have it stars. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the. I'm a player on the late night tip. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog to the skull. Ignorant. Can I live? Still feel me.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers face off with Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
The numbers there for Connor in last week's game. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
A big reason this team led the league in offense, their offensive line. Monster strength. 3 Pro Bowlers last year in Alejandro Villanueva, David DeCastro, and Marquise Pouncey. Kept their quarterbacks upright and throw it downfield and carved a lot of holes for their runners.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. And James has it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They were caught in no man's land that time, but the decision to go for it, that was the right one. It's a first down.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on fourth down here early in the game.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
So typically you'd say nice job defensively to force a decision on 4th down. But they've already gone for it once and converted, so you better make sure your defense stays out on the field and is alert.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. These two teams had not one but 2 memorable encounters a year ago. Their first one was Week 5. That's when Ben Roethlisberger threw a handful of interceptions. Jacksonville won big, and then, of course, the Jags, Charles, they doubled down in the playoffs.
Yeah, they beat Pittsburgh again in Pittsburgh, 45-42, to advance to their 3rd AFC Championship game in franchise history. And I like what you did there. A handful. 5 interceptions by Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he struggled in that first outing.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Bortles going to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Well, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On third down, that's counted. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. More from Jacksonville after this. And they've got it here with a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. It was the free safety Tashawn Gibson who was able to range over and knock it away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Ben to throw again. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On second down, here's Yeldon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
It's not one guy, it's another with this defense. I mean, this is the #1 unit against the rush in the entire NFL. They know how to cover for each other. And, yeah, they've got great players. They also have very dependable players, too.
And he's got Moncrief. Bortles to the former Colt Moncrief for a Jaguar first down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he's got this down to the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. To throw, it's Bortles. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards.
380.
Bortles now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
He'll get it up the middle. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
380.
Bortles to throw on second down. And incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball. And he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
That's complete right around the 8. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Lambo will put this one through, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, But that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up third down. And the Steelers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 19. Roethlisberger will hand to counter. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And take it right on the 30. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Chris Carson, what a game. 3 touchdown runs in the victory. From there, we head east to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Michael Crabtree, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. And finally, on Cyber Monday, put away the credit card and join Monday Night Football as the Titans pay a visit to their former home in Houston. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through 1 half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. They go play action here on first down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cole. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is third down and 12.
Green 80. Green 80.
From the gun, it's Bortles. Looking long for Westbrook. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers are going to take over first and 10 deep in their own territory. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. They go play action with Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now they face a third down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So here's a first and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Oh, a scratch for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's second and 12. On second down, Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On third down, that's Connor. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Right back to him on first down. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. Here's Connor. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
Set. 2:30. All right, let's go.
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point attempt to follow here. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw is Bortles. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cole. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Bortles to Cole for the Jacksonville first. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. His throw incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Bortles again here on second and 10. Out of the backfield, it's T.J. Yeldon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to...
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Throw left side complete. That's Cole. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long.
380. 380.
Throwing now is Bortles. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Connor. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Steelers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Connor. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run with Connor. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Black 20.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Here's the fullback. This is Roosevelt Nix. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of him, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
You say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
loved
did.
The defensive.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Steelers, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.